finally, the day that we've all been waiting for. The series premiere of Andi Mack. And more importantly, my episode review. What's going on, YouTube? So before we get into this episode review, I have to mention this, because I don't think I've mentioned it once in any of my Andi Mack videos yet. Why not? I have no idea, but I think it's time to change that right now. And that's the fact that Sabrina Carpenter actually sings the theme song to Andi Mack. Now, I didn't know this at first, but one of my subscribers pointed this out to me, and now it all makes sense. It makes sense why I like the theme song so much. I mean, it's nothing too fancy or anything, but there was something about it that really attached me to it. And now I know what it is. Sabrina's voice. Duh. But anyways, on to the review. So the episode starts off with Andi riding her motorcycle, bike thingy, scooter, whatever it is, and already she's shown in just like 2 seconds that she's a way cooler kid than I ever was, even with the training wheels on it. And you'll notice right away that Andi doesn't look like your typical Disney star, and that's because, for one, she's a girl of color, and two, she doesn't have that long, luxurious hair, and three, she actually looks 13 and not 17 pretending to be 13. These things actually do make a difference and actually does matter, believe it or not. So then we get to see Andi's cool older sister named Bex, aka Rebecca, which is probably what I'm going to call her, because I mean, I'm not calling you Bex, I'm just not gonna do it. But she totally has a cooler motorcycle than Andi, and she's there for Andi's big 13th birthday. The big 1-3. But Andi's mom isn't all happy to see Rebecca, especially after Rebecca tells her that she's moving back home. She definitely wasn't too happy to see her then. And after coming to the realization that Andi doesn't know her as well as she should, that her being Rebecca, she shows her her secret box with all kinds of deep dark secrets, one of which will make your head spin, but more on that later. So now it's time to meet Jonah Beck, Andi's crush, and the guy that's gonna teach her how to play frisbee, courtesy from Rebecca for Andi's birthday. And Jonah asks Andi if she's ready to hurl, which apparently that's slang for playing frisbee, and this is just the beginning of Jonah's interesting lingo. So after they get done playing frisbee, Jonah ends up asking Andi to join the frisbee team, and then that is when we're introduced to Amber, Jonah's high school girlfriend, also a grade A. And after Amber calls Andi a groupie, Andi puts her in her place, involving her little Amber Alert comments, basically telling her how stupid that comment was because of what an Amber Alert actually means. Which, I mean, let's be honest, that's definitely true. I don't know why she thought that Amber Alert comment was cute in the first place, and I'm glad that Andi put her in her place. So then Andi and her sister get in a really big argument about the whole thing, because Andi feels like she made a big fool of herself in front of Jonah Beck, and Andi tells Rebecca that she isn't like her or anybody in her secret box. But it turns out that Jonah never actually thought any less of Andi for quote-unquote embarrassing herself. You know, moments like this really does go to show that sometimes you're not embarrassing yourself as much as you really think you are. Because I mean, let's be honest, 9 times out of 10, you're way harder on yourself than anybody else is going to be. Any moment that you thought was embarrassing, 9 times out of 10, anybody around you either didn't notice or didn't care. Just throwing you guys a little wisdom. A little wisdom from your favorite Smurf. But nonetheless, despite the fact that Jonah didn't find any of that embarrassing, that whole moment still caused Rebecca to want to leave instead of moving in like she originally planned. Because she has a secret. No, not a secret. The secret. A secret that's gonna turn everyone's lives upside down. And what is that secret, you may ask? Well, it turns out that Andi's big cool sister is actually not really her sister at all, but it's her mother. Yes, you just heard me right. And yes, you are watching this show on Disney Channel. No need to double check, that just happened. And if that wasn't enough, Cyrus tells a period joke about Andi in this episode. Cyrus is Andi's best friend, if I haven't mentioned that already. I don't think I did, but I'm mentioning it now. I don't know if you can even call it a joke. He pretty much downright just said that Andi was on her period. Disney is not around anymore. They must have like a new executive producer or something, because Disney is trying to act like it's not Disney all of a sudden. I'm not complaining or anything. I mean, I love it, but this is just rather odd. But the episode ends with Andi trying to figure out who her dad is, but Rebecca isn't ready to tell her. Another big secret waiting to be revealed in a later episode? Looks like it to me. So overall, as far as premiere episodes go, I mean, you really can't get much better than this. I mean, you have one of the biggest bomb drops in Disney Channel history in the very first episode. On top of the fact that you can just tell that this show is really going to be different from most Disney shows out there. This show is really showing a whole lot of promise. And if it doesn't live up to its potential, you can pretty much completely blame the writers. Because it looks like Disney is giving them the rope to do what they want to do. Obviously within reason. Disney is getting serious, and I couldn't be more happier as a viewer. Keep it up, Disney. But let me know what you guys thought about this episode in the comment section below. What are your first impressions with this show, and how did you feel about the first episode? Let me know. But I'm done talking. If you guys enjoyed this video, you know what to do. But as always, until next time.